Hey there, how's it going? This is Drupti coming to you from Bold Looks Aesthetics and Makeup, and I had posted earlier this week about what to do with eyeshadows, and I gave a few different colors as an option to pick from, and the ones that were chosen were these three right here. So they are Mocha Java Shimmer, which is a taupier shade, Pink Peony, which is like a pinky tone, and then Mulberry, which is like a mauve tone. So I am going to be using these today to do my eye makeup, but first of all, I'm just going to share with you a few tips on foundation. So I do want a fuller coverage today, so I have my foundation shade, but I also am going to mix some translucent powder in there, and that's going to help to thicken up and add more coverage. So instead of adding the powder on top, I'm adding it into my foundation, and that just really helps to build up the actual coverage that you're going to get in your foundation. So I'm just mixing that up, and then I'm going to take that right on and go ahead and apply that onto my skin. Just going to add a touch more. Make sure I have enough in there. And this foundation will give me a physical block equivalent of up to a 30. It just doesn't have a chemical block in there. So get my hair out of the way here. So I'm going to just buff that right in. And the reason I'm actually patting it in, pressing it in, instead of doing this swirl, is I want to keep the coverage. I don't want to soften the coverage. I want full coverage. So if you press, you're going to get better coverage. So hence stippling instead of rubbing it in. I'm just going to press that all over and underneath the eyes as well as the eyelids. I tend to apply it everywhere, and then I kind of just see if I need concealer, where I need it, and how much I'm going to apply. Make sure to get it into the hairline there too, so it's nice and even all over. The hairline I do rub in a little bit because I want to make sure it's smooth in that hairline area. So that is foundation on all over. So next I'm going to go in with a little bit of concealer, and the concealer I'm using is actually going to be quite a bit lighter because I want it to be my concealer as well as my highlight on the cheekbone. And the concealer I actually use is actually just a full coverage for the anti-aging foundation that gives me extra coverage too, and is in a lighter shade, so bonus. So you're just going to do a veil in a sense. And the reason you're bringing it down is that it's going to create that highlight for you too. And then I love using a beauty blender, the teeny itty bitty one. You just want to make sure that it's damp, so wet it out, so it doesn't absorb all your foundation or your concealer or anything. And just press it right in. And you can also go in with your fingertips. And blend that right in. Same on the other side. and blend that right in. And if you need to add a touch more, you can. I'm just gonna do a touch more on the cheek there. And then I always take in my foundation brush and just kind of blur the edges there. So there you have a little bit of highlight going on, and you've done your concealer also. So next up, I'm just gonna brush my brows into place. And let's do a little bit of contouring. And I'm just going to use Deep Caramel for that. And you don't need to use too much. This really is quite pigmented, so. And then you just brush that in. And you're going to take it up. You don't want to come down. And then again, just dab a little bit with your foundation brush, and that just kind of blends everything in. So you've got a little bit of chisel there, and I'm actually just going to do a touch. Oops, that's maybe a touch too much, but that's okay. We blend. And then again, I just take in my foundation brush to soften out that look. So there we have contouring, and I just take that same brush and go around the edge here. And you don't need to contour too much. If you want to take what's left over on your brush and just do the contour around the nose, that is perfect. And then you are going to take a little bit around the forehead and go ahead and blend that right into the hairline, because you don't want a halo of a lighter shade right there by the hairline, so make sure you blend that in really well. And then I usually just take my beauty blender and blend out the edge and just highlight at the same time along the nose. Hey, how's it going? So there you have contouring done pretty much, and sometimes I take it along the jawline, whatever's left. Okay, so we're going to do brows coming up next, and for brows I actually do use a shadow, and that is, oops, Garnet. And then you want to make sure that you're using an angle brush. If you have any questions, just comment, let me know. So I'm just going to take the color right off the tube here, and I'm going to blot a little off. And you want to make sure that you're just doing small little upward strokes to begin with, to kind of feather in that front there, because you don't want it to be too thick and heavy. And then once you've got that created, just go ahead and create your brow. I usually do the top first, create that sharp line, and then just go ahead and fill in. And you can always take a little bit more to fill in any gaps. You can tell what a difference between the one side and the other. The side trails, I don't have enough finishing at the end, and it just looks more defined too. Brows are really in, and it just depends on you whether you want to really accent your brows or not. I find that if I go too heavy, all you see is brows, but then some people like that really defined chiseled brow. So, you know, find your happy place and either extend and really have a thick full brow or just fill in what you have. And I'm going to do the same on this side. Just go ahead and do little strokes up to mimic hairs. And then once you have that, go ahead and fill in, straight line all the way across and then down. And then just fill in. So there you have the brows done. I'm just going to extend this a little bit. And we can always clean that up at the end, but you want to make sure that you do brush the brows back out. This way it allows you to see if there's any gaps or anything that need filling in. I am going to leave them as they are. So next, let's just, let's go straight into the eyes. So because I have 3 shades that were the winners of pick 3, and that's the 3 that I will use on my eyes. I have no idea how this is going to look. So I'm just going to go with it and see what happens. So I'm going to start off actually with the Mocha Java Shimmer. And I will actually use that all over the bottom lid. And let that just sit. And it is a cream to powder, so if you want to have a little bit more impact or intensity, then just let it dry a little bit and then layer right on top of it. Next, I am actually going to do the Mulberry in the crease. So let's get a different brush for that. This is a fuller brush. It's got a fluffier top, but it's still fairly stiff. It's not super soft, and it's quite a packed bristle, so it's not a bristle that's very loose. So again, just brush it right off. And we're going to go straight into the crease. And do that for both sides. And just need a little bit more. It's kind of just like going back and forth like a windshield wiper. So there we have that color. And I will go back in a little, I think, with the Mocha Java Shimmer. Mainly on the inside part though. And then we're going to go in with Pink Peony. And I think with this, I'm actually just going to put it on the outside corner. And yeah. So it's like a little bit of a pinky kind of corally cherry tone. And we're just going to take that right off the brush. And I'm just going to put that on the outside corner. So this does have a little bit more color than the other 2, which is good. Otherwise the eye would look pretty flat. And that's just on the outer corner, going about halfway in. And we're going to leave that Do the same on the other side. And then you're just going to use my fingertips to kind of blur that middle line so it's not sharp, it's sort of blended in. And then go back in with your crease and then just blend that out. So that is the look created using the 3 shades that were the winners. And I'm going to just do a little bit of liner, and I will actually clean up the edge. So the way I clean up the edge is I just take a little bit of my foundation and draw a straight line. And it just takes away anything that's a mess on the outer corner and gives you a little bit more of a defined finish there. So this is kind of pretty. It's got that slightly sort of warm, bronzy look to it. With a little bit of that mauviness in the crease. So pretty. And I might just cheat a little because I like a highlighter. And so I am going to take Whisper Pink and just do a little bit right underneath the brow bone. And let's see. So I'm just going to take it straight from here. I'm going to use that sharp angled looking brush right here. And I am going to just chisel right underneath. And then just take a clean brush and blend it. Because I don't want it to be too much going on there. Or you can even take your fingertips and blend it. So there. So that actually opens up the eye a little bit more. Do the same on the other side. So can you see how that really opens up the eye a little bit more and gives it a little bit better definition? And then if you needed, you can just go back in and fluff that edge. So there we have the eyes so far, and I'm gonna line, and I always, or have been lately anyways, lining with, let's see if I can find it. I might do something slightly different, but of course when I'm looking for it I can't find it. Okay, so let's just do Starry Night, shall we? Since I haven't done, it's a liquid liner. Shake it up a little bit just to make sure. Actually, I found the one I was going to use. This is Lash Extend, so it's 2-in-1. It helps to build your lashes. It's like a serum for your lashes to grow, but because it's actually black, it's great to use it as a liner. So 2-in-1, versatility. Who doesn't love that, right? So this will be a little, whoops, awkward because I can't see well. Well, not close up anyways. So I'm going to start on the outside corner and then just work along the lash line. This is, I think, the hardest part. Ooh, not bad at all, if I say so myself. Let's try the other side, see how I do there. And then come around from the inside. If you just follow your natural lash line, you can't go too wrong. Oops, as I said that, I did a little boo-boo. So there we have liner on. I think I do want a little bit more of an angle here. Concentration is killing me. So I'm going to leave that as is with the liner. And I am going to go in underneath with a little bit of liner too. And I'm actually just going to use, find the brush again. I'm just going to use the Garnet, which is the same color that I used in the brows. So take a little bit of color and pop it right underneath. So there you have liner. And liner makes a huge difference to the eyes. It really helps to open everything out and frame the eyes really well too. What do you think so far? Pretty sweet. I'm gonna put lashes on, so I am gonna wait on putting anything else on. We'll just do a touch of mascara underneath, just to wiggle at the base. It's really good to do that because it makes the lashes look fuller. So I'm going to leave that. And then I'm going to use Pearlizer, which is great to kind of give a glow to the skin. And I'm going to actually use that right in mixed with. So there's a little bit of Pearlizer, just so you can see. And I'm going to mix that with Pink Berry, or Berry Pink, which is this right here. And you just need a touch because this color is so intense. So I'll show you how much I put there. See how little that is? Like tiny, tiny, tiny amount. And then you just want to mix that together and sponge it on. So I'm just going to take the back of my brush, mix the two together. And it just gives a really soft, pink, subtle hue and glow. So then I'm just gonna dot that on. All of this might seem like it takes forever, but really it's because I'm talking and doing this at the same time. Typically it's really fast. So take a little bit more and same thing on the other side. And I'm just going to take a touch more. So it gives a nice hue to the skin there. And then we're going to go ahead and finish off with some lips. Let's see what to wear. Might have to take a few minutes and figure that one out. So I am going to leave this live and then figure out what color I'm going to use, come back and show you the application. But the eyes are pretty much set, and all I used were the 3 colors. That one, which was Mulberry, sorry, that's Pink Posy, Mulberry, and Mocha Java Shimmer. So those are the 3 colors I used on my eyes, and then liner. And I did cheat. I did use Whisper Pink just to highlight a little bit underneath the brows. I felt like that really helped to open up the eyes a little bit more and give a little bit more contrast. So that is the look. I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned. I'll come back in a bit and show you what color I'm going to put on my lips and then do my lashes too. Okay, thanks. Bye.